And good Saturday morning, October the 11th. Uh, Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm all right. No, I'm not. Tough night last night, but stopped in on the way. And I know you're drinking your caffeine and chaos. I got mine in even the cup. And thank goodness for them this morning. Real quick before we get going, uh, I, I just want to go through here and say thank you to the folks that make this possible and believe in this program and believe in what you guys are building and even after a tough deal like last night, or they're there, they're not going anywhere. Sutton and Sons, I saw Ryan before kickoff last night. It's still I don't I call him Ryan. Everybody I know everyone calls him Frog, and you got Frog on the team. Can't thank Ryan and his family enough. Caffeine and Chaos, truly, thank you. Uh, Amy Spivey and her real estate. There are no words to describe uh, how hard this her and her family and work for this program, and she is the real estate agent that everybody needs to go see. Mountaineer Oxygen Service, Heath and his family, and I know what you think of Heath, Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
Heath is Heath is all in on the tee, and we're going to support the heck out of that basketball program when that time rolls on. And down here at Crompton's Auto Mart, where I'm making some big changes down here in the next week or two, that people are going to go, wow. I think that people are going to be really happy with the changes that I'm in the process of making, and I'm in the middle of some state paperwork, so you know how that is. Chris at the print house, Chris is I'm going to be calling him Monday for some of those changes. And Off the Hook Taxidermy, Ed Launer. Every time I see Ed, if I'm having a bad day, and I'm being real serious here, Coach, if I'm having a bad day, he makes it better. He's positive. He comes up, he pats me on the back, he shakes my hand. He says, he always tells me thank you. I don't know why. I'm thanking you. And he's and his wife, when 11 Spot got those picks those pick sixes earlier in the year. So good people, and so we can't thank these people enough as they're scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Visit them, support them, because for good, bad, they're there for this program, these kids, and it's much more than football. It's the academics up on the hill. It's all the other sports. So support them, please, because we've got a big platform that we're kind of shocked of the reach that we have here. So anyway, thank you. And before we get into talking about the game, Jonathan, a heck of an environment last night.
Mm-hmm.
Just a great environment. Our band was just at another level. Our cheerleaders, the crowd. I'm glad I didn't have to work in a concession stand last night.
Yeah,
just unbelievable. The crowd that was there, and the support. And I know that you don't have a lot of time to focus on that stuff, but I do think that I do know that you saw all that last night and you paid attention. And
yeah,
I can't thank the Great American Rivalry folks for making this game, as always, one of the top games in the country, to come out there and do what they do and support in support of this game. When you had left and gone on and were playing in college, and after that, I did the TV stuff for this game for about 5 or 6 years. And, I know that they because of rules and stuff, they've had to change it, but I used to be able to come back to this game and do the it was the national television broadcast of this game. So up in the booth. So that's a big deal. And a hell of an environment last night, Jonathan.
No, it really was. Excuse me. From start to finish. I mean, and that's always going to be the case. So obviously, thank you to all our fans, not just for football, but for band, cheerleading, all that, for showing up. It was good to see Tyler Brocious back last night for the coin toss.
Yeah, I was going to talk to you. We're going to talk about Tyler and you in a minute.
That was good to see him and catch up for a few. So I all around thought it was a really good environment. It's a good thing or the crowd is loud when you're trying to yell for your players to hear you and they can't hear you and they're 40 feet away. So yeah, it was all around in that sense was fun. It's a great thing for our players to be able to experience and play in front of, because you don't get to do that very often. I mean, honestly. So thank you to everybody that came out and supported and showed up. Like I said, again, I'm gonna harp on it, but it was good to see Tyler, and I hadn't seen him in a long time. Since we've, I guess you would say, have been adults and grown up. So that was a fun thing.
I think back to a couple of things, or three things. I think back to when we got here in 2003 and he was in middle school, and him coming up and introducing himself to me, and said, "Sir, I'm Tyler. I'm a quarterback too." And he said, and then the day of the NFL draft, he showed up at our house and sat there with you through that process. And I thought, and then the hurt that he had last night was like you guys, was like the players. And you go back and you think about not just him, but the people that, sometimes it's tough. Okay. Sometimes it's tough to hear the noise from folks that truly, and I'll just be honest with you, they don't know crap about crap, but their passion is unbelievable, and to hear the noise, but to see that people care and that this means something, not just this game, even though this game is whoo, but man, what the hurt that we saw last night, that I saw from everybody. You don't want. How do I word that, Jonathan? Sometimes you'll have to speak for me. You don't want people to hurt, but to see that hurt is kind of a good thing, because people give a flip. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. I know what you're saying. We do have a lot of people that care, honestly, from the community, obviously from the players and coaches in this locker room, our administration, second to none. When it comes to,
can I stop you real quick?
Yeah.
Did they not show out last night to man those gates, to do all the things that it took to get this game on? And I don't mean to cut you off, Jonathan, but I mean, with Mr. Connard and that whole entire school, because that is, I felt sorry for Austin last night, almost before the game.
Yeah,
because kickoff for him couldn't get there soon enough, because they were dealing with 100,000 things and everybody going in all these different directions and trying to do this. So I apologize for cutting you off, son. And usually I don't apologize to you. Usually I just say, dude, I'm the dad, you be quiet. But
no, all good.
But kudos to Casey and to your administration and to every person involved in your school, because you guys have a special thing happening up on that hill that's a heck of a lot bigger than football.
Yeah.
Unbelievable what you guys are doing. But anyway, I'll throw it back to you. And Coach Matthews, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah, it was sorry, my voice, trying to yell last night. I forgot where I was going. But bottom line is,
Yeah, the people that are passionate.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, like I tell the players, there's multiple ways to think of it, and depending on the emotion you want to think of. Like before game, if a player's nervous, that means that they care about what they're doing. If you're not nervous, you don't care, like those things. So it's the same thing on this spectrum. And, Coach Matthews commented, said, when you hurt, you care. That's exactly right. When people are passionate about what's going on, it's not easy to control emotion and let out which emotion is in that moment. You just got to take it from an aspect of they do care. They want what's best for whether it's their kid or their neighbor or their cousin or their friend, whoever it may be, and then ultimately the team. So that's the stuff that you take a step back and go, I understand what you're meaning or saying, but I also ultimately understand what you mean. Just like I tell the players, in coaching, don't take how I say, take what I say. Not how we say it, but what we say, because it is an emotional game. It is, and every sport is emotional. Life's emotional. Those things. So yes, exactly right. I think that was a very well said comment about when you hurt, it means you do care. So and that's how our community is, because a lot of our community,
we're hurting today.
I was saying we live in one county. There's only 2 schools. And it's just you don't, on our side, you don't like that 364 days that people that go to work have to listen to it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that for our community. I'm not even going to address that comment. Just
that's enough of him.
And I'm going to be very politically correct about it. I've got no words to say to that. I hope you have a wonderful day. I do, genuinely.
So forget it. Let's go on and talk about football now. Again, great environment. They just they came out and they pounded the football and they pounded the football and they pounded the football and did a good job of keeping us off the field and early and just they were big and physical and we played tough and just we got to convert on third downs on defense. We got to get off the field and we didn't get off the field, and those things happen. I mean,
I don't know the number off the top of my head, but we were watching film last night. But they were able to. I mean, here's the thing: when an offense has to go forward on fourth down multiple times, you're getting them to fourth down. They're having to go deep into a drive, so we've got to. And it is hard when your D line is most of your O line, but that is every team. I wouldn't say every, because I don't coach every team, but that's a lot of the teams that we're going to play is that way because of where we don't have 120 kids on the rosters like some places do in the Charlotte area or places like that. So, ultimately it's, football is physical. And we did a good job getting them to third and fourth down. I mean, truthfully, we did. We kept watching that last night going, all right, third and, 4, third and 6 or whatever it was. Then there was a 4th and 1 and 4th and 2. So we were doing a good job. But now, you really ultimately we got to get to where we can get the ball back in that sense. Same thing on offense. When it's, I'm making up a down and distance, but when it's 2nd and 5, we got to be able to understand where we're going. And they do understand where they're going, but got to execute to where it's not 3rd and 10 or a penalty or this or that. And those are always going to be things that as a coach that you deal with. That's every team. It's going to happen that way in a lot of ways. Penalties never come at the right time. Say it that way. They never come at the right time. But in a game of that magnitude, it always seems like they're a little more elevated, going, that really couldn't have happened at a worse time for whatever the call was. Hence,
Hold on a second.
Go ahead.
Hold on a second. We've been doing this for 3 years and and we're going to continue. We're going to get right back to it, but I cannot help myself this morning. This, and 98% of the people understand that that we do this, and this was done for just to be positive and to do the things and to make sure that that our program and that people know about this program, and our reach is unbelievable. I'm shocked at our reach. There's people right now in Denver, Colorado at 5 o'clock in the morning watching this thing. But I will say this. Butch, I'm done with you.
It's all good.
I know it. No, this is not for you. This is for me. This is about the kids. And I'm done with you, son. There's no excuse for that. Now let's get back to what we're doing. Sorry, Jonathan. I apologize.
You're fine.
I totally apologize. So let's get back to what we're doing. So, hey, we got to get off the field, Coach. We have to get off the field. And up front, just on the other side of the ball, it's God, you're that close. You've been that close all year. And I thought Jet out there playing hurt last night, and he's really hurt. And went out there and played well as he could, and played well, and dadgum. This game just hurts. I know I'm just kind of rambling because I'm a little angry right now, but dadgum. But I'll throw it. I need to let you talk and talk about the football game.
Oh no,
I've had enough.
It's all
because
good.
This format is not for that garbage.
It's all good. No, but I'm trying to think how I want to start. I'm going through the game in my head. We had one play on the first offensive possession, just one play set us back because we were moving the ball, we were driving the ball, had good positive momentum, and just in the quick game passes and in the run game, and then just one play. Obviously, ultimately had to punt, and so we only had the ball one time in the first quarter. I think we ran 14 offensive plays in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. And once again, it is not about number of plays to me at all. It is I don't look at the I cannot remember which coach said this. I can't. But I love how it's said. It's not time of possession, but points per possession when you're playing, especially if you're like a Mountain Heritage style offense, right? To where you're going to win the time of possession battle a lot. But we got to look at what points per possession there are. So that's kind of how I like to look at things. I thought that was I think it's a very well said statement about the game of football. So that's it just hurts going, just one little thing, and you go, whether it was a run play or pass play, whatever it is, and it's there, or we crease them here or that. But I once again, I keep going back to our kids. They care. They play hard. They didn't quit. They take the coaching. They understand that what we're trying to get across to them. Because ultimately, let's just be honest. Ultimately, in every sport, what's the statistic? 95%, if not 97%, don't play after high school. And that's okay. It's about shaping young men into better human beings, understanding how to deal with adversity, understanding how to deal and show true character. And that's the stuff. So I thought our kids did do that last night. I do. We didn't take the low road of cheap shots or anything like that when opportunities, quote unquote, presented themselves. And I give our kids credit for that. I do. Because when a drive would stall, you go, or a little thing when Sam Trantham, phenomenal punt. He did a great job punting. He's gotten so much better over the year, but he's been really good with that aspect of our game. And the one last night, and you see it hit and it just rolling, you're going, that's going to jump out at the one. Oh, yes. And it just stayed barely inside the pylon. You go, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Because I'm talking about if you watch that in person, but especially on film, you go, that was a tremendous punt. We pin them on the 1 yard line. That's a different drive instead of being on the 20. But dealing with those things that are so small that literally a 4-inch or 6-inch right or left can determine 20 yards. And I think our kids did do a good job of dealing with those things and not letting it get in their head, not freaking out, and playing. Then we get the ball back, and we're down 14. We drive right down and score. And I thought we did well with that. They didn't adjust to a certain formation, so we were staying in that formation, and we're able to throw a quick game out of it. Able to run the ball to and away from the tight end, depending on which way they would bump the front, and our guys did it well. So we go down as 14-7. We go to half. We get the ball. And I'm like, all right, cool. It's 2nd and 5. We're going to throw a screen route. Well, you know what? The horrible part of football is they're allowed to make a play too. That's the horrible part of our sports. Is they're allowed to make a play too, and the corner made a play, and got us in third and long situation. That's the stuff you go, just right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And do I think that was a fumble on our slant that I can get here? I can sit here and get nitpicky. I'm not the back judge, so I don't know. I'm not the back judge. But so later,
because we're going in to tie the football game.
Yes, and and it's once again, I can't make that call because it's not for my call to make. I kind of would like to brush up on the hurdling part of the rule. I know what the rule states. Sorry that we got a kid that's really athletic that can jump, and it just look like he hurdles a guy. I don't know how you can penalize that, because that's a first down play, big play.
That turned the momentum there.
It did, because it was
so
blocked.
And again, I didn't.
That's the stuff that I go to is like, you look at it and you go, son of a gun. Like, and I know a referee is there to direct the game, but you shouldn't directly affect the outcome of a game. There was a couple times that I'm sitting there going, I don't know what you're looking at, but that's a hold on a big play. And that's not an excuse. That's just the harsh reality. I know we're all human. I know they got a lot to look at, but also know where their eyes are supposed to be, because we have meetings about it every year in preseason. It just sucks because certain things do directly affect a play.
So the rule, and again, it's hard to, and I probably even on film, it was hard. If the defender is on his knee.
No, if one knee is on the ground, you're allowed to jump.
Mm-hmm.
And Well, when the defender just completely gives himself up because he doesn't want a piece of it and falls to the ground and both hands and both knees are on the ground, you're allowed to jump. So I don't see where that's a hurdle. And then the next drive, they do the same thing and it's not called. So that's where I question it going. I get that it's tight, but you got to call it both ways. That's all I care about. Whether it's good or bad, and I agree or don't agree, not the point. Just let me agree or not agree both ways.
Yeah, because that one play took away, because, again, we're going down to tie the football game again. And just, so that was basically a 40-something yard difference in field position on that. And it happened really fast. And I know you guys got the film, and I don't, but from, it happened really fast, and just kudos to Sam.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you watch it on film and you go, son of a gun. I mean, it's an instinctive athletic play, and like I asked the referees, I said, guys, I'm not trying to be this person. Are you asking me to tell a kid to let a defensive back just run in there, fall on the ground and lunge at his knee? No, that's a safety issue. And that was a hell of an athletic play, honestly, by Sam. Once again, I guess I need more of a definition, a more detailed definition of the rule of hurdling.
Yeah, because you
once again, you watch it and you pause it when he starts to jump over. The DB is literally like his whole hands and knees are all on the ground. And
because we got the rest of this year and 2 more years to watch this kid do those things.
Yeah.
and because we're really young.
He's very instinctive, especially in those situations. I mean, honestly. Yeah. And that's the part that you go, like, son of a gun. That's what hurts, because you see a play like that. And I promise you this, I'm going to make sure that is on Sam's highlight tape, because that was a heck of a play. What was that kid for Philadelphia last year, the running back up there that did
Saquon?
He hurdled back.
Yeah. I mean, because and that's what you said when you go back and talk about Sam in particular on that. God put his hand on him and just said, man, you've got this instinct.
Yep.
And that's you don't teach that.
No, exactly.
No, you don't. That stuff you don't teach.
Exactly. Exactly right.
So, it's really tough because you guys you're so close, and you see, from the naked eye, you see where we need to get a little bit better at, and but man, I mean, like today's a tough day.
Yeah.
Today's a tough day.
No,
how did and I know that the kids, man, you hate it for the seniors, man. I hate it for those seniors, and you could see in their eyes last night after the game. Just man, that pain will go away. It will go away. But man, today's a tough day in Waynesville.
Exactly, it is. But like I told them last night, we got a bye week coming up. We got senior night in 2 weeks, and then end the season on the road to get a good playoff seeding and go from there. If we take care of business, we still got a really good chance of getting a home game. And ultimately that's the goal. It's RPI based.
Really? Is that how that? See, I don't. That's way above my pay grade.
It's only RPI based. So we just, once again, we got to. It's back to the drawing board. I was going to say that every week. To get ready, we've got a bye week coming up. We'll be back at practice on Monday, and go from there, because ultimately, like I said, the season's not over at all. And so that's the big thing. And getting ready for, we got Brevard in 2 weeks, which will be senior night, and then we got East Henderson after that. And with the bye week coming up,
how do you handle that? I know you try to get healthier and
Oh yeah.
get healed up, and because these kids, and I don't think that, well, I do. People know our kids are playing a heck of a lot of snaps.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a little agitated this morning, so I apologize. Matter of fact, no, I'm pissed off right now. I'm not agitated. I'm angry because I'm going to go back and say this is not the place to be a turd.
No.
This is to love on these kids and love on this program. And I am angry this morning. That just has this. And that's been going on all year. So anyway, I'm so mad that I can't remember names because you and your sister messed up, and there's only two of you when I get mad.
50% chance.
Yeah, well, they're here. I've got not that much, but I look back last night and I look at big and please correct me and say their names here, man. Big 73,
Cosby,
man, big Cos. Dang, I mean, this kid's playing. I don't know how many snaps to him and Messer, and I'm talking about the guys up front. Man, how many snaps are these kids playing? And that wears on you after a while. And we've had, when you don't have an open week until week 8, and you've got those big dudes. Now I'm going to talk about the big dudes for a little bit here. No, that's man. They're playing a ton of snaps against guys, and this is no excuse. This is reality. We don't have a ton of numbers up front to go and rotate and let people take breaks offensively or defensively. And man, Cosby and Messer, and kind of go through those kids that are playing a ton of snaps up there, John.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the reality. Every week you got nuances to the game plan on both sides of the ball, depending on personnel and what your opponent's going to do and all that. And they are playing. I mean, some of our O-line, a good portion, does play defense because we got to have a big 3 technique that can take on double teams and those things, right? So that they do. Everett, Bryce, Luke gets a good amount of snaps on defense, especially this past couple weeks, and so it does wear on you in that sense because of when it's constant. It doesn't matter how far you're running, but theirs is more of the physicality side of it. It wears on your body. So yeah, I mean it can get you, but I think our kids do a really good job of letting us know, hey, I need a breather here. I need a breather. Certain times you're like, hey man, I need you here because I know they're running right at you. I need you to plug the hole. Something like that. But it's I think the kids do a good job communicating with us in that sense of like, Coach, I need water like now. Right? Because as soon as we go from offense to defense or vice versa, that the only break they've gotten was a punt. Or if they're on defense and we're going punt safe, well, the defense would stay, so then they don't even get a break and we're right to offense, something like that, which those scenarios do happen. And I give the kids a lot of credit. I do, because it is not easy. I know a lot of people last year, like Travis Hunter at Colorado. He played 135 snaps or whatever. I'm like, I get it. A lot of high schoolers do that. Like, honestly, a lot of high schoolers do that, especially on the O&D line. It's a lot easier to do it for a Travis Hunter that they're not throwing at him every play. You know what I mean? Rather than we're taking brute force every play.
Yeah, he's kind of on the outskirts. These guys are in the middle of the.
That's what I'm saying. Like I got to give our kids a lot of credit in that sense of like, it's a lot of plays. It is. Where score a touchdown. They're also on PAT. So the only break before defense is the one kickoff. And that, like I said, that wears on you. It adds up. It's a lot of plays. So that's where we got to be smart this week during practice to make sure we get healed up as much as possible. Because at this point in the year, everybody's banged up. I mean, it is a physical sport, so everybody is banged up at this point in the year. Yeah, I mean that's what we'll do. We'll this is a week to quote unquote work on yourself, work on our yes, we will start some Brevard install, but it will not be a full blown Brevard game plan because they've still got a game because them and West Henderson had their buys early in the year, so they've still got a game this coming or next week, I guess you'd say. So yeah, we'll start a little bit of that as far as during practice. Coaches will start on it. Bye weeks are really to work on ourselves and heal up and at the end of the week let the kids have a couple days just to rest.
Yeah, because again, as we've said all year, in this conference, there's no hey, this is like back in the day, let's schedule this team for homecoming.
Yeah,
there is none of that here.
No.
You just kind of it gets tougher and tougher as your opponent goes on, but that's a good thing. I love that, and your kids are going to rise to the challenge. And I know that you talk about the RPI thing. I still don't understand what that means. So, so explain to me about what the playoff, what we have to do, or how that looks.
Right. The RPI is a formula. It's a percentage of your win percentage, your opponent's win percentage, and your opponent's win percentage. It's just calculated. The state calculates it, and you just get seeded 1 through 24. So they just essentially you're able to put your stuff. I say but the state does it. They put in your record, your opponent's record, and the record of your opponents, and then it pops out what's your a number, and then the highest number is 1, and all the way down to 24. So it literally changes weekly.
Okay. So, how much sleep did you get?
Not much.
Yeah, when I was leaving last night, you and Ty, you and Brocious were over there, and the Mondays, and I tell you something now, the Braden, you'd have thought Braden played last night. He's fired up, and I love the passion. And again, we get on here because look, honestly, truly, we're not going to use this platform to do what you see on, how they talk about pro teams and kids and positions. No. And now that the college guys are getting paid, it's the same thing. We're not going to do that, and because that's not what this is all about. And I'm just proud of, again, today's a tough day. It's going to be a tough week because it's 364 days until you get a chance to do this again. The beauty of this thing is when you're talking just purely football for a minute, and you got to be really careful in this forum on how we talk about purely football. But if you look at your roster, we're really young.
Mm-hmm. In a lot of ways.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But 364 days will be here before you know it.
Yeah. It will be.
And I was really, I think you guys, look, it's like I've said all year, and I know sometimes you get aggravated at me, but sometimes you just look and you tip your hat to the guys, and they lined up and they did their job.
Not happening.
But I get it. But but I thought your program handled things really well. After the fact, I thought we showed a lot of poise. You showed a lot of class, and a lot of these kids, they've known each other. That they kind of grew up together, and I thought our kids were spectacular the way they dealt with that last night, because it hurts. This ain't normal. This is, again, people talk about, Jonathan, oh, it's just a football game, but this is not just a football game, and this is one of the biggest rivalries in America, and it's supposed to hurt. And but I thought your kids, I thought everyone handled after pretty well last night.
Mm-hmm. No, I do. I thought our kids handled it with class. That's the thing is I've said it 100 times, and I'll always say it because we're going to win with class when you're going to lose a class. There is a difference, and there's a over half the job title is teaching and shaping young men on how to actually be a grown-up, on how to actually deal with adversity, unlike some people that don't know how to. And that's okay. That's part of our job. I'm not dumb. I wasn't born yesterday.
I know that you know. Because I know. I hear the morons.
I don't know, and that doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But it's the simple fact of teaching them how to handle adverse situations. And I think we've got a really good staff that does that. That, once again, adverse situations does not just mean after a loss. It means on things during the game, even when things are going well. There's adversity in everything that you do. So that's I think our staff does do a good job of that. I do. Our kids, they've never quit. They've never wavered. They fight their butts off. And so, it's after a loss is always tough. You got to flush it, move on. And I promise you I'm going to do that.
Yep. So I asked you earlier today before we started, I said, hey, did you give are you and the coaching staff, you're going to take the day off? And you didn't even take a half a second. Nope.
No, we're about to meet right now.
Okay. And tell Braden when Janet goes and gets some barbecue today, she'll give him a sandwich too.
Nice.
That boy eats more than you.
Yes.
So anyway, we're gonna tough week, tough day. I don't know any other way to say it. It's not easy, and we'll see you on Wednesday, because I know that you're wrong and I'm right and Trevor's wrong, and Coach Hawkins is going to be with us this Wednesday, and I know that he's probably wrong, even though his team will win. But thank you for. I'll say this, and this is not talking to my son. It's just talking to a grown man. Thank you for getting up, looking in the eye, never wavering, because this is not easy to do on Saturday mornings after last night. A lot of folks would just say, "Hey, man, I'm gonna bug out," and you never waver, and I appreciate that. And the people that love this program, I think they appreciate that, and our sponsors appreciate that. That this is difficult today for you, and so
it's all good. But listen, it's part of the job. It's part of being a grown up. Once again, I can continue to say it all day long. Over half of our job, percentage-wise, if you want to say, is teaching kids how to be a grown-up. I can chirp back with the best of them.
no joke.
But that's just how I am. That's my personality. It is what it is. I that has nothing to do with football. It's just how my brain works. But it's also understanding that that's not the right thing to do in a lot of.
It's not productive, and I get it.
It's not the right thing to do in a lot of situations. And how do you just go, cool, and move on? And that has nothing to do with today. It has nothing to do with anything other than that's part of the job. Understanding that you've got to deal with adversity, positive and negative. There is positive adversity too. And showing the kids how to look situations in the face. So when they're my age and older, they can go, you know what? Coach Crompton was this, and this, but he showed us how to do this, and this, whatever the situation may be. Because I know it was the same way. Like, heck, I still remember moments from when Coach Nolan coached me. That's the part that you don't, as a kid, you don't see in the moment, but you see when you get older. Because I was the same kid to be like, why is he not doing this? Or why, blah, 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 whatever it may be. And then you see, but it's not just him. I mean, there's multiple coaches that have been here in the past that have done the same thing, all the way back to Coach Brooks, that showed the kids how to be grown-ups and not the fun situations. And that's part of it. That's why you do it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing this job.
Yeah. All right. I know you got a staff meeting, and I know you got to do the radio stuff. And so I appreciate it. Thank you. And again, honestly, not but just I admire you for getting up here and looking people in the eye on a tough day, because anybody that says today's not a tough day is not part of this. They don't understand it, because today ain't Christmas morning.
Yep. Exactly. That's exactly right.
All right. And by the way, on another subject before we get off here, when we'll talk about it Wednesday, you think today's tough here? What the heck in Chapel Hill? Whew. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about that Wednesday. That is a mess. But anyway, go get them. Tell the kids we love them. We support them. And we're going to go out there and get after it with Brevard before we head out to East Henderson and get us ready to go to the playoffs.
There you go.
So everything that you want is still in front of you. And that's the part that I appreciate y'all letting everybody know.
All right. I appreciate it.
All right, guys, go get them.